Welcome back to Paralegal America. Today I'm diving into a tense moment from the Appropriations hearing, where Senator Kennedy laid it out, blunt as ever, to America's top defense minds. He wasn't interested in pretty answers. He wanted the truth about China, Iran, and Russia, and what their moves mean for America's future. Let's start with how Kennedy sees the world. He didn't mince words. He said straight up, China isn't acting alone. Russia's eyeing Europe, Iran's working the Middle East, and China. They're calling the shots from the Indo-Pacific to space.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll try to land this plane within my time. I want to tell you briefly how I see the world and invite you to tell me if I'm wrong. I think President Xi and President Putin and the Ayatollah in Iran are working together. I think that President Xi is the quarterback. I think their goal is to have Russia dominate Central and Eastern Europe, to have Iran dominate the Middle East, and to have China dominate the Indo-Pacific, while being free to roam in sub-Saharan Africa and South America and space.
Kennedy made it clear. He doesn't want America as the world's cop, but he sure doesn't want China, Russia, or Iran stepping in either. When he asked if he had it right, the defense leaders danced around details, but admitted these countries are working together, and they're not on our side. Then Kennedy got real about money. He told them, Congress is willing to spend, but only if we get the facts. How much do we need to keep up with China? The answer? Nearly $1 trillion, no sugarcoating. That's the price tag on staying ahead.
I do not want America to be the world's policeman, but I don't want President Xi or President Putin or Iran to be the world's policeman either. Do I see the world in the right way?
I would tell you, Senator, that we are seeing them. I don't know specifically what their ambitions are, but we do see them working together and doing some of those things against our interest.
General, I need you to, both of you fine gentlemen, to look us in the eye and tell us what you think. I understand you got to choose your words carefully. You don't want to get put on double secret probation. But we've got some hard decisions to make here. And there's a consensus, I think, in the Congress to give you more money. Because I think we need to spend more money on defense. But you're going to have to give a straight answer and tell us what you think. Secretary, am I right or wrong?
Senator, your question of, your colleague said it earlier, $185 billion is a lot of money. If we are given more money than is in the budget that you've seen, we will be good stewards of that and innovate even faster. I think what we are saying to this committee is we believe we can transform the Army with those amount of dollars as long as we are able to use them the way that we want to, and we are not
Tell
jammed.
me again the amount of money you need for the Army transformation.
We can use our current budget and transform the Army as long as we're able to spend it the way that we believe is right.
How much money do you think we need to spend as a country to maintain or either, depending on your perspective, reach parity with China?
I think the president has mentioned between the two bills $1 trillion for the DoD.
Do you trust Europe to spend more money?
I'm sorry, Europe.
Do you trust Germany to spend more money? They've talked a good game.
When I was out with NATO with Ambassador Whitaker and talked to a lot of our colleagues in the NATO countries, and as far as I could tell qualitatively, they believed it seemed to be that they were going to start to spend significantly more.
Next, Kennedy turned to Europe. Can we trust our allies, especially Germany, to back us up? The reply, hopeful, but cautious. Promises are easy, action's what matters. Same with the UK, commitments sound good, but follow-through is what counts. Kennedy pressed on Ukraine. Does what we do there matter in our fight with China? At first, the answer was vague, but when pushed, the truth came out. The world is watching Ukraine, and how we handle it sends a message straight to Beijing.
General, do you trust the United Kingdom to follow through and spend more money?
All I've gotten, Senator, is what they said that they were going to do with their new defense review, that they said that they were going to raise, their spending on defense.
Based
So
on your
it'll remain to be
experience,
seen.
do you believe them?
I think we're big believers, and we'll see. I think action is what counts in some of this. There's certainly been a whole bunch of our allies that have done that when they've called for.
Tell me, General, how you think the war in Ukraine relates to our struggle with China. Are the two inextricably linked, or do the two have nothing to do with each other?
Well, I think, Senator, everybody is watching that fight right now. You can lesson from it. I think everybody's doing that. I think everybody is looking. I get a lot of comments.
General, I know everybody's watching. I got that part. We're all watching. Do you think what we do in Ukraine impacts our struggle with China or not? Give me a straight answer.
I do think our partners and allies are watching what we're doing and how that turns out. Yes, Senator, I agree with that.
Last question, because because I'm going to land this plane. How's our recruiting coming?
We're dominating recruiting and retention.
Why is it better?
We made some structural changes and the return to a focus on lethality among our leadership.
What structural changes did you make?
We created a future soldiers program that gets soldiers or future soldiers who are right on the edge and helps get them a little bit more training before they join. And then there were problems with when we transitioned over to digital medical records. We were catching things when kids were younger. We didn't have in place the mechanisms to get those waivers, and we have improved there dramatically.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Finally, he checked in on recruiting. The answer was surprisingly positive. Numbers are up, thanks to smarter prep programs and cutting red tape. Bottom line, America's at a crossroads. Our rivals are teaming up, our allies are being tested, and the world is watching how we respond. If you want more unfiltered takes, stick around, like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because these moments matter long before the headlines.